Hello, peacefully strong yogis. I hope you're all well. Welcome to your class today, which is all about sun salutations. We're going to be breaking the sun salutation flow down for you, touching on all the different stages and the modifications that you can make to either increase the intensity of your salutations or step it back a little bit, finding a flow that works for you either as a warm-up or a workout in its own right. Or it's obviously a flow that we come back to time and time again in our classes as transitions between different poses. So as I say, we're going to take it nice and slowly. We're going to look at each pose in turn and give you just a few little pointers to try and keep in the back of your mind when you're going through sun salutations. It can often be a faster flow because we're going breath to movement, so you may not always get all those points in and remembered, but if just a few of them spring to mind, it's going to keep the integrity of your moves throughout the flow much better and you'll get more out of it. So let's begin down on the mats. We're going to warm the body up just briefly and then we're going to get straight into our sun salutation. So coming down onto all fours first of all. Let's warm the body up with a few cat and cows. So inhaling as you lift the head, lift the hips. And exhaling as you round the back, drop the head. And keeping it flowing, breath to movement, big inhales, drop the belly, looking up. Exhale, round the back, push the floor away, separate the shoulders. And don't feel too fixed in these cat and cow positions. If you want to take a little bit of movement at the end or sway from side to side, just do whatever feels nice for you. Don't feel restricted to the purely up and down movements. So the idea with cat and cows is that we're always just warming up the spine, the full length of the spine, top to bottom. We're getting into the shoulder blades. We're stretching out the abs at the front of the body. One more each way, wherever you are. And drop the body back into a neutral position. Just take the hands slightly further forward, tuck your toes, and we're going to peel the body up into downward dog. So lifting the hips up high, lengthening out the spine, just warming up as we always do with our first downward dog. Just pedaling the feet out one at a time so you can get a little bit of stretch into alternate hamstrings. And then find some stillness, so gripping down with the thumb and the first finger, but keeping the fingers spread nice and wide. Pushing feet and hands into the mat, lifting the tailbone up towards the ceiling. So envisage that point of meeting between the hand energy coming up the arms and up the spine, and the leg energy from the feet up to the hips. And then draw the belly button in and up, the pelvic floor up, and keeping it nice and strong. Just shake out the head, make sure there's no tension building up there in the neck or the shoulders. One more breath. And then inhale the body forward into high plank. You may need to adjust your feet a little bit to make sure that you've got the right length on your high plank. You can always drop the knees, just keep the weight forward, keep the belly button drawing up towards the spine. Straight away building some heat and fire into that belly, into the core. Drop the knees if you haven't got them down already, and then lower the body down towards the mat, keeping the elbows squeezing in at the side, and then lift up into Sphinx. So normally in sun salutations we do cobra position or up dog, but Sphinx is just a nice gentle back bend to warm us up in this first instance. So really draw up, pushing elbows into the mat, lifting up, creating some space between ears and shoulders. And then dropping the body down, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, pushing back up through all fours, tuck the toes, downward dog. we're going to take our first transition to the top of the mat. This is always your first option in sun salutations, and that's just to walk it in, little tiny steps. So look towards the hands and just walk the toes in as far as you can, bending the knees until you reach a forward fold. Let the head hang. Knees are really nice and soft if you need them to be. And then inhale, take the arms up wide through the sides, up to the ceiling. And exhale, bring hands down to the heart. Make sure feet are hip width apart. We're going to go through some half sun salutations. So inhale, reach tall. Whenever you're reaching tall, you want to keep the shoulders dropped, but keep the fingertips up towards the ceiling, rooting down through the feet. You can take a slight back bend, but try not to lose the space between your lower ribs and the top of your hips. So always draw the core in and keep this area nice and engaged. The gaze can go up with the hands. And then on your next exhale, we're going to forward fold. So take the arms nice and wide, hinge from the hips. Bend the knees as much as you need to and bring the head down towards the floor. Inhale up to a half lift. So for this, your fingertips can remain on the floor or they can come up to the shins. But you really want to lengthen out the back. So trying to keep your gaze slightly forward, keeping the head, neck and spine in one long line. Feel like you're pointing out through the base of the spine, out behind you, almost sticking your bum out. So lengthen the spine, draw the shoulders down. Such a lot of things to even think about on a simple stage of a sun salutation. On the next exhale, drop the head back down to the mat. And inhale, take it tall, reaching to the ceiling or the sky. And exhaling, hands down to the heart. So we'll do a couple of rounds of those breath to movement now. Inhale, reach tall, remember the front of the body, keeping it engaged. Exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips. Dropping the head down to the mat, soft knees. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, fold to the floor. Inhale, reach tall, root down through the feet and rise up with the hands. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach tall. And exhale, hands to the heart. Let's start moving into the next stage of sun salutation. So inhale, reach tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach at half lift. And exhale, find the floor and step the right foot back into your lunge. So we'll keep this stage nice and slowly. We can speed up the breath to movement later on. On your next inhale, you need to take the left leg back to join the right in high plank, and you can always drop the knees straight away in this position. Or when you're ready to lower, you can drop the knees to the floor. Exhale as you lower the chest and inhale to your cobra. So we talked about Sphinx pose before, but generally in sun salutations, there isn't time to get the hands forward into Sphinx. So even if your cobra is a real baby cobra, just lift the shoulders, the chest, peel it up off the mat a little bit, keep the elbows squeezed in. Don't force it. Exhale, lower it back down, push up through all fours to downward dog. And then the walk in, so looking towards the hands, walk the feet in. Exhale into a fold when you arrive there. Root down, inhale, reach tall. Exhale, hands to the heart. Second time through, inhale, reach tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the left leg back. Always try and alternate sides if you can. On the next inhale, step the other foot back to high plank. Drop the knees and exhale, lower the body to the floor. Inhale, peel up to cobra, just as far as you're comfortable. And exhale, take it back to downward dog. So through all fours, into downward dog. And we often take a breath in this position. So if you're watching classes and you've got a bit behind or your timing's not quite the same, don't worry, because there's usually time just to catch up, and we all tend to get back to the front of the mat at the same time. So again, walking in for this time, look towards the hands, walk the toes in, exhale into your fold. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to change a couple of little bits if you want to. So we're going to give you the option to step it in after the flow. So rather than lots of little steps, we can just take one step in. And also the option to push straight back from cobra into downward dog. If you don't want to take those options, you stick with where we were on all fours and the little steps in. So inhale, reach the hands tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the right leg back into lunge. Inhale, take the left to join it. Exhale, drop the knees, lower the chest. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, if you want to, you can push straight up through your plank to downward dog, but otherwise through all fours and peeling up to downward dog is fine. We take the breath here, and then your option is to walk it forward with lots of steps, or raise the right leg slightly, bring it through like you're squeezing your knee to nose, and step it down. So you come back through lunge, step it into forward fold. Inhale, reach tall. And exhale, hands to the heart. Second side, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left leg back into lunge. Inhale, right to join. Exhale, drop the knees, lower the chest. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, take it back through all fours, or big push up, back to downward dog. Taking our breath here. Little steps forward, or raise the left leg, squeeze it through knee to nose, step forward and into forward fold. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're just going to add in a couple of lunge positions, which sometimes we just play with in sun salutations. It's not really part of the official sequence, but they're nice to add in. So let's give them a go. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the right foot back and drop the knee softly down to the floor. So make sure you've got a nice long lunge, that your front knee is over the front foot. So if it isn't, take the front foot forward slightly. And then inhale the arms up to crescent lunge. So things to remember in your crescent lunge is, again, that you want your hip points, rather than to be sagging down to the mat, you want to lift the hip points up, and also keep, again, this engagement between the lower ribs and the hip points, so that we're not sinking and taking an increased back bend, but we're drawing and keeping the integrity of the core, and then dropping the hips forwards. It's a much bigger stretch into that back hip flexor. Try, if you can, to lift fingertips up to the ceiling, but drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Often we'll do this in very quick breath to movement, so you won't have a lot of time to think about it. Bring the hands down to the floor, tuck the back toe, lift the knee and step it into forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, take the other side back. Drop the knee down, left knee down. Inhale, the arms up. So again, think about the hip points coming up. Think about drawing the belly away from the front thigh and keeping the lower ribs in contact with the pelvis, the hips. Reaching up, lowering shoulders. Bring the hands down to the floor. Tuck the back toes, step it in. Forward fold. We'll do that once in a full sequence with breath movement. So inhale, reach tall. Exhale, hands to the heart. Here we go. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the right foot back, knee to the floor. Inhale, arms come up, crescent lunge. We're not there for long because exhale, hands back down to the floor. Step it in, forward fold. Inhale, half reach. Exhale, left leg back, knee to the floor. Inhale, reach the arms up into crescent. Exhale, hands to the floor, step it in. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach tall. Hands to the heart. Back into our sun salutations. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step the right leg back. Left to join it on the inhale. We're going to go through one different option here. So always drop the knees if you need to. But if you're trying to build up strength in the arms, this is a good starting point. So on your exhale, don't drop the knees, but just lower the body, keeping the elbows squeezed in. It's a tough one. You may still come all the way down to the floor to inhale to cobra. Exhale, take it back, downward dog. Walk it in or lift the right leg up, bring it through knee to nose, step it forward, into fold. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left leg back. Inhale, right to join. Exhale, lower to the floor with the knees up if you can. Otherwise, down is fine. All the way down. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, back to downward dog. Bring that left leg up just slightly or step it through, little steps, into fold. Inhale, reach up tall. Exhale, hands to the heart. You're doing really well. And hopefully you're seeing how sun salutations on their own can be a great workout for mobility and flexibility, but also strength and a little bit of cardio. I'm a bit out of breath just doing it as well. I'm talking as well, but you will feel it. You will warm the body. Final round we're going to do with the option of up dog, which is really just there if you're happy with the lowering without the knees down and you want a bit of an increased stretch into cobra. So don't do it if it's not for you, but for those that want to know the final step, we will do 2 rounds of that now to finish. So inhale, reach tall. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, right leg back. Inhale, left to join. Exhale, keep the knees up if you're doing this, but hover. And then on the inhale, you flip your feet and you lift up so your thighs and knees are off the floor. And then exhale, take it back, downward dog. So you may have filled that with a lowering with the knees and into cobra, and that's fine. But the up dog is your final full vinyasa or full chaturanga option. Step it in or step with the right foot forward. Left to join, exhale into fold. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, go straight into a fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left leg back. Inhale, right to join. Take your option, but for up dog, exhale to lower halfway and hover. Inhale, flip the feet and lift the chest. Exhale, take it straight back into downward dog. And hold it here. So just take the last few breaths in downward dog to notice how your legs have warmed up. Your heels may be a little bit close to the floor, but touching isn't essential. More important that you get the feeling of tilting the tailbone up towards the ceiling, lengthening through the spine. And then bringing the knees down to the mat. Take them out nice and wide. Good mat hip width distance. Big toes to touch and sink the hips back. Your head's coming down to find the floor. If it doesn't find the floor, you can always fold your arms in. But if your forehead is on the mat, just keep the arms stretched out in front. Take 3 nice deep rounds of breath here. Just appreciating the warmth that you have built up in the body. And walk the fingertips over to the right, so they might come off the mat. Pull the hips back to the left. Breathe deeply into that left-hand side of the body. Take it the other way, so fingertips through centre, over to the right. Over to the left, hips to the right. Walk them back into centre. Bring the body up. You're very welcome at this point to pause or stop the video and take Shavasana, so lying down in corpse pose or on your back for 3 to 5 minutes and letting your practice settle. Otherwise, if you're finishing with me now, come to an easy seated position, cross leg, easy pose, half lotus, your choice. Just rest the hands down on the knees, lifting up through the crown of the head, so sitting really nice and tall, but close the eyes. Taking a couple of really nice deep breaths in, filling from the belly up into the chest. And exhaling fully through the nose. Taking the arms out to the side, you can open the eyes, take a big reach up to the ceiling. Bring the hands together, exhale them down in front of the heart. Bow the head down, chin to chest. Taking a moment just to seal in the practice that you've done. Give yourself a bit of gratitude for finding time to practice. It's sometimes hard to fit in, but we always feel better when we do. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I wish you a fabulous rest of day or evening. I'll see you again soon. Namaste.